Malozos. So, boys,
Good.
Talanoa, everyone. Welcome to For the Boys podcast. Podcast where we get together, catch up with Usos, share stories, anything that's on the Usos' minds. Yeah, catch up with the Usos and share our stories, share our truths, in the hopes that our walk can help another out there. But yeah, I'm
100%.
Swicky.
I'm Teza. And you have Wills. But like you also said, we're just sharing our truths, just sharing our journey. We're not professionals, but I guess you can say Wills being in that line or that field, he deals with this kind of stuff with kids every day. But we're 3 years deep. We love to talk about stuff. Just talk about everything in life. As men and as fathers of our families. Um, there's the stigma that we have within our culture, within our communities that it's hard for us men to open up. And I guess this is kind of a platform to share that. Platform to It's a safe platform where everyone gets to you have your say. When we don't have all the answers, we're not perfect, but in saying that, we get to share something from us, and sometimes that we get a little bit deep, and that's I guess it's up to everyone that jumps in and help us out, as well as us helping you guys out.
Yeah, sure. So, like you said, man, we're not professionals. We just share from the heart, keep it 100. And it helps when the chat comes through, whether you're viewing through Facebook or YouTube, drop in a comment, drop a feedback, keep the dialogue going on what we're sharing on tonight. Um, yeah, it's good to hear different points of views and what we're talking about and just different perspectives. So, yeah,
Mm.
if you're tuning in tonight, feel free, jump in through the chat, interact with those hosts.
Yeah, just touching on that too, from pretty much what all the boys said. It's good, and from the get go, we said, if it reaches one person, then that's the goal. If it reaches nobody, someone's going to end up listening to the recording. I guess I've loved this platform because one, you could be a manager outside of this, and then two, you could be a human. So there's two different hats that you can kind of adapt to. But just having a platform where anybody can just jump on and tell it more. That's like I said, if it reaches one person, then we're doing our part.
Safe also.
Hard, hard, and man, the last few weeks, bro, the chat's been going off and sending in their comments, like Swinky has been saying, the good interaction, and that's how we keep it. If you have comments you want to throw in the chat, if when we do speak, yeah, throw it in there, man. We'll be happy to read them out and have a laugh or whatever. But yeah, let's get into it, man. We've been missing, but how have we been, boys?
Yeah,
Good
good,
man.
Oos. Yeah, it's been real good. This
Mahi.
weather's been something else, but yeah, it's been good to have family over. Still have moms and my little sister just flew over from Oz, so yeah, it's just good to reconnect and spend some time with them. Because of COVID
Nice.
and all that, But
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
Oh, just before we move on, it's means mental health month, so June. So yeah, I think it's appropriate for us to acknowledge that, and not only do we celebrate men's mental health. I think on both sides of the field, we get to talk about our women who jump on as guests at certain stages. But yeah, so men's mental health week month, and they've chosen a week between I think the 15th and something else to really dive into it. But for myself, had a bit of a breakaway from the boys. Went over. I took the family overseas. Got to enjoy a bit of sun with the family, and not only that, I got two or three little ones that they got to enjoy it too. Going back to see the father-in-law's homeland, and it's what I got when I landed, or a few days into it, is that how good the people are there, and if you've ever been to Fiji, it's the people are so nice. Doesn't matter what it's happening in their life, they're always respectful. Have a smile on their face. Um, and I've got a little story where we stayed. A lot of the locals would have to either over here you call it busking, but over there it's kind of normal to catch a lift from the villages and then come into work into the town area,
Yeah, hard,
or
hard.
for in this case it was Dinero. And we went into one of the shops, spoke to a lady, and she was so helpful, funny, and she was finishing her shift. So we picked her up. We said, "Oh, where are you going?" And she's, "Oh, just down here." So we dropped her off, and we got to see, I think, where she stayed, or just she was pointing in that area. And man, their lifestyle is probably not the best. Sorry, where they live is not probably the best if you were coming from New Zealand, like the housing state. But you can just imagine the locals don't really care about where they live or how they live, but you wouldn't get that from meeting them because they're so lovely to meet, lovely to talk to. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys met a Fijian from, well, just met a Fijian that's so happy and just full of life.
I mean, it's always humbling when you go back to the motherland there, I'm sure. Like when you go back to, Rao, or like for me, when I go back to the islands back home, so it's always humbling to see, it doesn't really define who they are. It's just, they're always just full of, like you said, life, and they're always happy, and they don't portray anything. I mean, they don't let it come across that the
Nah,
hard
man.
living that they're going through, or it's just always
Yeah.
good vibes, man.
But, yeah,
And then
and I remember too, like going on a trip over to Raru and stuff, and there was one guy that we went to for 4 different locations, and he was the same guy, but at different locations doing a different job, and I was like, what the and he and he didn't care, and it's a different perspective when you see you're the tourist and you see those in the islands, regardless of you know they're still going to treat everybody the same, and they're happy to do it, which is even more enjoyable, when you see that, you feel that, and then you almost just want to give back. So we were being extras. You don't tip over in Rara, but we were just giving extra, buying extra food, giving it, and they were really cool about it. So I can understand what you're saying about Fiji. Is that
yeah, bro, and that was it too. Where we stayed, the porters. Yeah, man, the amount of luggage we had, bro, was
God, can only imagine, man.
for honestly, the trolleys they have, we had to stock up 2 of those. So, and and half of the stuff was because we had to take a porta cart, the kids pram, the what do you call it? Well, from now on, we won't be taking that because they have it at the hotels. We didn't know, but that was a waste of time. I just sat there and we used the hotel. But yeah, bro. And then for me, I don't know if you guys have this the way you do your stuff is that you don't want anyone else to help you. But the amount of luggage I had, bro. The guy was like, "Oh no!" He started pushing like the trolleys. Oh, him and another porter pushing it to our room. I didn't know where it was. Then we had to climb these stairs, and he just bloody Fijians, bro. They can carry the whole world, bro. There's tough dudes, bro. And he started carrying all our bags up, and I was looking at him. I was like, "Fuck, that's heavy," because I only can have, Anyway, he basically done all of it while I was, struggling on a few of the luggages, and you just kind of had that sense that I can't pay you enough for that work, but because you can tip them, but like you don't know how much, and then anyway, we the old man tipped the porter. He was good. He was like, "Oh, Bula, thank you, Vinaka," and he went away. And just hearing the hourly rate there, and how it hits you when these guys are working so much, putting in all this work, but yet they don't get paid as much. But that's that to them it's normal. And then you have us coming from like here over there, and the amount of money that you have doesn't compare to how much they actually provide for their family. And like you said, Wills, they not only have one job, but sometimes they have like 4 jobs. And bro, when we talk about taking a break, and when you have a chance to reset, try and reset, just you got a spare thought for these guys where maybe their break is at work, or their resets at work. So yeah, it really hit home. Seeing you would call them family because you see them basically every day, and the amount of work they put in and helping you. And the little things they do is really good. They help you out, like, bro. It got I wouldn't say annoying, but they love babies there. They love babies. Like, if you have a baby, they'll come in, just a random will just come. Doesn't matter who will just come and ask to hold. Like, we're like, oh, like, I got a 5-month or 6-month old boy, and he was being handed around to like all the local ladies there, and they was like picking him up, taking him off, and you're like, oh, okay. After a while, you're like, damn, you can't let my kid go that far, They're going from this lady to the next lady, and they're just like holding him. And yeah, well, it was like, it was good, but then like it became too much because I felt like it was, you're giving them like a bit more work than they should, but they're happy to do it.
Yeah, I did hear that. I did. There was mention about that too, like in a family discussion about how well the Fijian people are with kids, and they just do it. They don't ask for a tip. They're not asking for anything. They just do it. But I guess it's different when you come from New Zealand and not used to your kids being picked up by randoms.
Yeah, yeah, and so we didn't know that they do nanny. We thought it was expensive to use a nanny in Fiji, but before we over one of the boys was saying, oh, use their nanny service. It's quite good there. Anyway, it was 35 Fijian dollars, so I think it was maybe under $20 New Zealand to send your kid in for what was it, about 4.5 hours, 5 hours. 2 kids. So we had 2 girls. My 2 girls. On one occasion, we sent them. We got a nanny, and we felt bad because we're on holiday and we're sending the kids to the bloody to the nanny. But in saying this, like the nanny there was pretty good. They have like kids clubhouse there, and they got to enjoy the park and everything. And yeah, they you know, when you ask a kid, oh, how was it? And go, oh, can we go back to Nanny? And I was like, yeah, nah. I think we better start looking after you properly. You might be, but nah, it was a good, it was good, man. I got to, you know, do a bit of sunbathing now. The kids were at the pool basically 24/7, so we were there getting burnt. Well, the kids just love water. How about you? How was your time with mum?
Yeah, it was good, bro. So we had I had my the youngest brother and his family were coming over, and we'd planned to meet up and just have a little get together, and then bloody got there, and then it was like, mate, TLC chasing waterfalls, eh? My old lady and the old man were there, so they'd secretly brought them over as well. So I guess if we're talking about the reset from I think 2 weeks ago, this is probably what I needed as well. Hadn't seen mum since 2019, COVID and everything else, but to then see her was probably the best 2 weeks. So, or best week. So that was just So the diet and everything, everything you're trying. I only just tried to start a diet that weekend and we got thrown out the door. All the takeaways and everything else, but just I guess family time is it puts it into perspective, eh? Like the meaning of family and how important family is, and especially too when you feel like it's needed without saying it, and then it like comes as a surprise. It's like, wow, like overwhelming. So the week's been I've been on a high for that week.
Especially with workers, you know, you've been quite busy. It's been full on, and I think we touched bases. Like I think it was earlier this year, where you basically worked through the Christmas, New Year's, and you're planning on having a break afterwards. Then having halfway through the year a good surprise like this. For me, like I'm just talking about the reset. Like I've had the break through Christmas, New Year's, but at the same time it kind of didn't feel like I had a break. Like not like just mentally felt like I was like on the go, like every single time doing something or trying to do something at least. So like you know, this break that we had, I thought it was going to be on the go too, because if you all know, like you traveling with kids, bro, it's we were expecting it to be full on, but like the kids were good. I think they were waiting for this trip too. I think we kind of hyped them up too, like oh, you're going on a plane, you're gonna have your own seat, they're doing that sort of stuff. It's just so they know you're gonna have your own screen, and and once we got on the plane, they were logged into whatever they're doing, like put on their headphones, watching it. So I was definitely expecting the kids to just get up and start running around causing a muck, but they were pretty good. And saying that, like I said before, I had to kind of entice them with, oh yeah, we're gonna go for a swim. They were pretty good about it. Oh yeah, we'll go for a swim. Eat all their food, and because you could swim from, I think it was 8 a.m. to like 10 p.m. They were like, they'll eat all their food, and they were healthy throughout the whole trip. And then got to, I think it was like 8 a.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Bro, they were knocked out. So you knew that not only did they have a good day, like you can kind of relax. But didn't last long, because when we got back home, back to normal way.
Well, that's the thing too. Is I think when we when we talk about the reset as well, and we talk about us individually because we're all sitting here talking, I think the actual reset is an extension of the family as well. So when we go into that reset, yes, individually, yes, but when we set up a reset, it resets everybody, and that's what I think sometimes we forget, that although we're trying to reset ourselves, the family are resetting as well, which is good.
And how about for you, Swanky? How's that? I know Mum's been here. Now your sister's here. I think it's been good to hear that you're enjoying, or spending a bit more time, or spending time with the family that are here in New Zealand now.
Yeah, man. Like man, it's just me and my older sister here with niece and nephew. But it's always good to reconnect, especially with moms, bro, because mom's been in the islands for a good amount of years, So yeah, but yeah, it's good to reconnect with him, and the jokes the jokes still hurt, There's still, there's mom jokes still hurt,
Hit him right where it hurts, eh? No beating around the bush there.
I'm a grown man now. It still hurts. Yeah. But yeah, like those who will say, man, it's how the world's going now, and just enjoying the time I have with him, and I'll say no to anything.
Yo, hi.
Oh, my little beast.
Hey.
Honor a constable or the counselor. One first meal she cooked for you, bro. She still hasn't cooked. Also,
she's lapping it up the food.
Yeah, she's enjoying the New Zealand cuisine. She hasn't touched. I'm trying to push her.
What's Mum's go-to then? What's she enjoying here?
Solely, Macca's. Fish fillet, yeah, and the mince pies, and she had butter chicken the other day, and she's going hard out. She hasn't cooked yet, beast. Hope you're doing well, also.
How about for you, Swanky? Sorry, Wills. Did you have anything special planned on the once you knew Mum was, or once you seen Mum here?
Nah, so yeah, I mean, massive surprise. However, it just threw the whole week out, eh?
Yeah.
Like regardless though, and I went into that mentality like, oh man, like I've got to set up for work and whatever. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take leave. If it's not approved, then I'm gonna just take leave because it's yeah. I mean,
I feel you. That I did the same.
Yeah, but the good thing is that obviously work were like they understood about my situation, and they were like, nah, cool, family time, which was all good. And then then we started the eating anything and everything times.
Yes,
5.
sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. But the borders are opening up for Swinky?
Yeah, July, August, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So, Auckland's going to be empty for July, August, September, I think.
Yeah, bro.
Everyone's going back home.
Shit, they've been waiting for that, because they were only allowing if you have a stamp or Samoan passport, or something, or you're going back to live.
Yeah. And the seasonal workers,
True.
Yeah.
Samoan Language Week.
Samoan Language Week, 4th day, yeah, man. And these weeks always bring up the drama for me, eh?
Oh, for real?
Shit always pisses me off, bro. These weeks, bro, stress me out.
Let it out, Us. Let it out.
Are you,
How
You
can
know, I
we-
think last week I spoke on a bit, but this week I was like, I just hate seeing, like, you know, your own people talking smack about like how much, just because you can't speak the lingo, you can't fully speak it fluently, like they judge how much of a Samoan you are if you don't speak it fluently. I hate that. I see that a lot on social media and that, and just it's your own people just downing the culture rather than, you know, uplifting and like encouraging them to speak the language. So come on, man, stop that shit.
Was the family heavily involved in like speaking Samoan or?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, us growing up, yeah, you know, life revolved around church, and that's how we learned to speak
Sure.
our language, was through, you know, church, youth, and yeah, what Sunday plays in that. Yeah.
Rose, how about you?
Which is a blessing.
a bit of both, bro, because we were like growing up, we were like going to and from places. So like Huntley, Hamilton, you know, I think I was the only Samoan.
Yeah.
Me and my sibling was the only Samoans in the school. So when they used to pronounce our name, which was our father's last name, they'd pronounce it like almost Māori. So then it got to the point where, you know, if you know you feel out of place, and with a lot of Māori kids there, you want to be Māori, right? So I wanted to, I literally wanted to be Māori. My name was William. I wanted to be called Wuramu. because that's all I knew. That's all we knew. Like the Samoan at home was, it wasn't being taught because we were like going to in different places, but our school was pretty much Māori, like Tawamuru, Huntley, Hamilton. We were all at like almost schools all Māoris.
Shout out Beast Mose. I saw a video of this lady that said, whether you're Kora or Fu Samoan, you're just as Samoan as the next person who can speak fluently. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Bruce.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that video too. Yeah, that can be transferred over to like every other ethnicity, yeah.
I don't know why these people think they can gatekeep the culture, man.
Yeah, it's like
Data. Data. I don't speak the language fluently, but my Thai skills better than yours. Are you sure though?
I will be the judge of that. We'll be the judge of that. So we'll be expecting that Otai sometime soon, and then we'll let you know if it's as good.
They don't never send it. Hey, Data, I heard Lady Dora, they don't muck around with theirs too, man. Lady Dora, fruit shop and all the who.
Yo. So, I don't know, I think this is probably left field, but again, anybody been following the Amber Heard stuff? Since it's finished?
I just saw that guy won, Johnny Depp won.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
It's out of it, bro.
All I could say is that they could make a mini series just based on that, how many weeks it was, and it just, bro, I was just like, damn, like the messages, and you know when you think that, you know, you send a message to the boys or somebody, you think nobody's gonna read it next minute, bro, broadcasted across the world.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if Johnny Depp was losing work over it, because it's like character defamation or something. Yeah, was he really losing work?
Oh, he
Or
got
did Disney cut him from the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Or
that
something?
was a Hollywood. You know, there was quite a few. I think Dior was the one that's kind of kept them on and said, "No, whatever happens, like there, it's not a part of us." But in saying that, like, bro, it just exposed her big time, bro. Like, if she were to win, and let's say she won, bro, she's not gonna get any jobs. Unless it's on those leather couches that.
Hey, another lift.
I don't
you
watch
guys,
those movies.
Oh, you sure? Are you sure? Did you guys see that thing about the voice though? The Australian voice?
Oh, I saw that post, bro. Was it Jalen Ayer's post?
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching that. You can clearly see, you can clearly see how much of. I think they probably made a mistake when they had, what do you call it, Australian Idol, when they got what's his name, Stan Walker. Not a mistake, but you know, choosing a Māori. He's blowing up, but he's spending most of his time like here in New Zealand. Well, I don't know personally, but you could see that he tied his roots, and it's just becoming. He's still big here in New Zealand, but you know, they put New Zealand on the map. Now you have, like you said, two Pacific Island artists.
Powerhouses too, bro. So mean voices.
Bro, straight up. And everyone thought it was going to be either one of them two.
But
True Aussie fashion.
If it is rigged, it definitely kept people watching.
Well, that's it. Hey, yeah,
it's
viewership. You know,
viewers,
they just
viewers.
Oh, jeez.
They baited us in.
You
know,
you
watch like
you thought, suckers.
Thought that troll.
Oh, Dana, I thought that trial was a TV show. They didn't realize it was real. America's different. Bro, America is getting crazy, bro.
The land of the free, man. You can be whatever you want.
Hey,
do whatever you want.
Wasn't there a shooting not long ago, like an hour ago?
Today?
Yeah, just now.
Oh shit!
At a hospital. Some hospital in Oklahoma City. Man, America. This is America. It's
that's crazy.
Places.
There was a comment. There was a comment on YouTube saying this has been the best drama show I've ever had. I'm kind of sad that it's finished. Because bro, everybody was on, bro. Like, I'd go on and like I'd see comments from like friends, and you know that. So I'll go in and I'll watch whatever that live was, but I got caught in that trap because I was like telling Shalene, I was like, fuck, if this bitch, you know, I was like, if her, like, look at the way she is, you know, man, I don't know how she can live with her lies, you know, live with that and live with all the stuff she's saying. So I got caught in it. So I watched like,
right, and it goes to show though, like how good they are with their, you know, the titles of clips, because clickbait, just like and all of a sudden there was all these, you know how they used to do reaction videos to music clips or something. Now they're doing reaction videos and like two-sided things, and then all of a sudden people are coming out with their opinions and how they see the case. I was like, hey, like you can't keep up, man. Like you're already watching the trial live, and then you've got all these little extras on the side.
Yeah, bro, I got caught. And yeah, like you said, there's quite a few people that basically just recycled like the same clips all the time. And, you know, you go to one guy who's doing the same clip as the other guy, but just remove the, you know, just doing a reaction. So, yeah, I was there. I was there. I was right in the thick of it, getting my comments in.
And you know too, like you're watching the trial right live, and then you know when people put up these new videos, there's things that you didn't see that they saw, and I was like, bro, these guys got too much time on their hands, man.
Wow, sounds like Dana's been in the mix following on this court case. Her name will be a return because of what she left in the book. Ah, man. It's going south already.
Bro.
And then blame the dogs. Oh, come on.
Bro, that's just crazy how, exposed him, but I think they're both to blame at the same time, right? Because like alcohol, drugs, they both were a part of that. And then I think Amber Heard was just taking it to another level with her lying on the stand and everything. But you can see at the forefront of that was just they are both were not good to each other.
That's all it came down to, though. At the end of the day, it was like toxic from the start. But glad it's over though.
They sucked us all in. I got a question for you, boys.
Yo,
Like being all of us as fathers, all of us having young kids, growing up. Do you think? I don't know if you guys came across the clip on social media, but do you think? Would you rather spend time, your presence with your kids, or out there setting them up, like for a better future, like working hard and setting them up financially? And then you're missing out on that time with your kids, or do you?
Good question.
Is time present, like your present, like family time?
Great question. I think if I'm going off how I first kind of, just off what I'm doing at the moment, but at the beginning, I was, kind of trying to work hard, trying to get everything for the kids, because I knew when I was a kid, my parents gave me everything. But now that I could provide more, I could work more and get it, if you understand, if that makes sense. So at the beginning, I was working hard and, barely had time to look after the kids. I kind of regretted it, like those first, few months of not being there for the little one, which changed my habit of, working more. I then spent more time. So I was, if I think I was I was part of both. I was part of both. So I was trying to work hard, and at the same time, being a young father, had my first one. I thought, let's work hard. Let's work hard to get more money. But at the end of the day, like getting more money didn't kind of help me out or mentally with what's been happening at home, or spending more time at home with not only my wife but the little one. So I think we had a talk, my wife and I, we had a talk about it and said, you don't have to do more hours just to get more money. We'll deal with it, like we'll look after it when it comes. But so to your question, sorry, also I think I went around the bush, but at the beginning I did that. I worked hard, tried to work hard, then later found out that I didn't need to.
Because like our line of work, the shift work, right? And like if you're on late, you finish work and they're probably asleep. Like only time you have is when you're getting them ready for school or doing the school drop-offs. Like trying to balance that work and home life, I think. Like like they say, both like you said as well, both equally important.
Yeah.
But I guess the child's personality will help me make that decision. Oh yeah. What you mean, Data? I mean, yeah. For me, it's always like spending time with the little ones. Are always,
Yeah.
I don't find it hard at all to leave. Like take leave, take leave to
Yeah.
spend time
Yeah.
with the kids. Take any sort of leave, domestic.
Yeah. Yeah, hard.
But yeah, I think both equally important, but it's not like thankfully. Like our line of work, pays where we don't have to really stretch ourselves to do the extra day or two to make ends meet. Like,
yeah.
How about you, Wills? What do you?
I know Wells is a hardworking man.
Yeah, but I know he's
Boy,
spends a lot of time with the fans too.
I'm stumped on that question because, as Terry was saying, like it's a juggling act to make sure that one, you've worked enough so that the lights are still on for the 1 week, and then it's like if the lights aren't on, then what, are you just there in the dark? No.
Candles.
Nah, but that
True.
quote came across. I came across and I like looked at it, and then I guess from my perspective on that is like you work hard so that there's enough there for you to be present, and then when you are present, you're still working extra hard to still meet the deadline for the next thing. So, well, that's my own opinion. So it's still balancing. So I guess if I look at it, although I'm working hard, my wife takes a lot of the reins of being at home with the kids, everything else, making sure that all of that stuff's been done, and then I'll obviously do the work, but also to make sure that everything else is covered, so that falls on me and nothing else. That's if that makes sense.
It does, man.
The question it's a tough one at the same time, but if you like, I'm just gonna rewind it back to my parents and how life was back then. Dad was worked basically 12 hours 7 days a week because that's what he needed to do. Didn't have enough. He couldn't make enough money for him to stay home. Yeah. So for him to, I think, take a day off was probably not financially good for the family. So his whole time was, work. And I thought, like, okay, if I do that too, work. And like you said, Wells, every week, have the light on in the house and food on the table. Is that being more present than anything else? Providing, having that sort of stuff available. And yes, like right now, I wouldn't say I'm comfortable, but I can take time off, and but if I was about 10 years back at a job that struggling and couldn't even I was working, I think 6 days a week, but still couldn't provide for the family like that. Depends where you are, maybe, because some people can say, yeah, I have all the money in the world and spend it with the kids. But then you have someone on the other, flip that over, and someone with no money still have to work hard. So yeah, it puts you in a bother, like that question, right? If you really break it down. I don't know if you guys have ever had jobs that you had to basically work non-stop to provide. And if you have in the chat, we'll still continue to do that,
Yeah, and I guess the ideal solution for that is, I mean, it's not really, but you win the lottery and then you don't have to work, and you can splash all the money in the world. I don't know. That's a tricky one. That's also something that we definitely have to take on board.
Shout out data. Some children are more dependent than others. Some kids thrive when left to their own devices, so I would take their lead.
But they say, the first I don't know how many years, 5-6 years of their lives, or first 3 or 4, are the most important time to spend with them, because you build the bond, and I'm thankful that I don't get to, when I see my kids, they still have a conversation with me, and even though sometimes it's like away with the theories, but they can still do that, and not feel like I've been missing. But at times, like what Swanky was saying, when you're on those late shifts, and so they go to school, you drop them off, and you don't get to see them again until the morning, right?
Yeah.
So it's just every morning. I think there was a point where my little one's like, "Oh, do you sleep at work?" I'm like, "Oh, no. I'm just there for the night." But yeah, so you kind of Data probably kind of mentioned there. You got to take their lead. Sometimes you have to listen, but maybe start buying some lottery tickets if I want to.
Because another a colleague from work mentioned the same thing. He was complaining about the rosters. He's been on the late shifts, so the only time he gets to see his kids is the morning, but that's when he's having his restful work. So he doesn't see his kids at all, actually. But he's like, I can wake up early and get them ready for school. They're in high school, his kids are a bit older. I can get up and get them ready for school and take them to school, but I need my rest for work. So he's like, he doesn't see them. So he's just complaining, like, I think he was in a block of 6 lates in a row or something like that, like 6 weeks of lates in a row.
Crazy, eh?
And he's like, he's never going to see his kids until RDO, which falls in a weekday, and his kids will be at school. Like. So for that guy, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So like.
So that's him though. He doesn't decide to, make time, or I don't know, take leave, or. Well, yeah. I just wanted to see what he does.
Do you like? There's quite a few old heads at work who just save their leave, man, and I'm telling you, these guys are over like 50, 60 years old. They have like leave for days, and they're getting forced
months.
Like that's the old school mentality. Maybe I don't know, but I'm like,
I can barely.
Like, I'll take leave just for the sake of taking leave, and I might have no leave by the time I get back to work. But so thankful for these block and lines. But yeah, like what are your guys' thoughts on like the I wouldn't say old school way,
that mentality,
but it's just how they were brought up. They don't want to take leave.
But is it? Could you look at the point that maybe in their younger days they were present and now that they were present in those younger days, it's now to kind of save up the kit there and just block up the leave because it's all there, and when they retire, that's also another big payout. I don't know.
True. Looking at the end game, eh?
Shout out data, but that's still the perfect world. The price of breeding is very expensive these days, so as long as money isn't a factor, we can see and make these decisions more clearly. I'm lost data. I don't know what's going on. What about we've turned left so many times. Sorry, data.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, just going off that question, it's like, we talk about the reset. So do we have to do the when you're present? You're present. And not you're present because your presence is there, but you're not there.
Are you present?
Being in the same room, your presence is there, but are you present? Like, that's the question. Like, then we can go, I can't, I don't have time with this or that, but then, you make time. Like, it might, and I mean, I just talk from my own perspective is, if I feel that I'm not present enough, then that wouldn't be me making a decision. That would be me asking my wife, what does she like? What's her thoughts on that? Because she's the one that's always with the kids, and then that would just then be me having to adjust what I'm doing, or finding a way to still make that money, but stay at home more.
Yeah, for me, like for my setup at home, because I share, like me and the kids' mom, we alternate weeks of care. So, like when they're here for a week, I only have a week, and most of that week they're at school, and then 2 days of the weekend. But then I'm a shift worker, so I could possibly be working that weekend. So, like for me, like I always say to Terry and like you boys, I'm trigger happy with the leave. Like, I'll take leave just for taking leave, and then like to spend time with my kids in that. So like, I think we've been saying like, yeah, work is important, like to provide and that, but for me, I like to be like spend some time with them. We don't do much, but we still we hang out and like, yeah,
have your own kind of
like each like I got 3 kids, so all 3 have different things they like to like. They're all different. They're different people, so like different conversations within the 3. So yeah, for me, it's always good to take that time and chill with them. In case one of them stepped me out for working too much. I look back and they're as tall as me. Oh, golly.
Hard. And that's what I noticed too on this trip. When I was holding my kids, I was like, shit, bro, these kids are heavy, but they're how tall are they now? You don't really take time to like to sit there and like look at that sort of stuff when you're back home, because it's like go to work, come back home, boom, dinner or whatever, whatever time. It's like there's a plan, a schedule for everything. So going just taking a break and just seeing that my oldest girl just wanted to sleep, so I went to carry her and her legs were like so tall. I was like, shit, it's not that tall. But yeah, you see them every day, and obviously you're not going to see the growth or like them growing, but shit, the time just time's so fast, and
yeah, man.
so if you can, I guess if you can spend time, yeah, man. Like there's always gonna be someone or outside you thinking or outside your bubble making these talking about that sort of stuff and say, oh, you don't spend too much time, or you should be getting more stuff for your kid, or whatever they're talking about. But when people talk about balance, it's sometimes it's easy to say it, but sometimes it's hard to do because their light's not gonna, and their bill's not gonna pay itself, and their food's just not gonna come into your tummy unless you're blessed and hopefully.
100%, bro. Balance.
I was talking about this with the. Sorry, what was going?
No. I just balance.
I shared this question with the boys I game with because they're young fathers too, and like just listening to their. I can't share what they're saying because I don't know, man. One get cancer, right? But they're like saying like they've never seen, like they've seen negative effects of like parents overworking and not being present, but they've never seen negative effects of like the parent being home, being more present, stuff like that. Yeah, one of those was like personal experience of his parents like working too much and they barely see them, and now that they've grown, like they're just grown apart. Like that sort of sad situation. But I don't know. I guess everyone's different in how they
That's it, man.
see things, eh? Like
everyone has their unique way of understanding some stuff. Like I knew, again, sorry, I just talked about the old man and how he used to work. Then, back when I was a kid, like, yeah, I used to see him, but it was hardly, he'll be home at 4 in the afternoon. You only get like a block, a couple of hours before he has to get ready to go to sleep, and because 12 hours 7 days a week is probably like I think every Pacific or every parent back in the day was doing, because it's normal. It was that sort of, those hours were normal for them to do. So when I didn't see him, like I didn't have a chip on my shoulder. I just knew that like there was an understanding that he had to put food on the table, even though like I could tell you guys now that we like food was hard to come by, and we've shared this so many times on this podcast that food was hard to come by in the family. When we had food, it was like Christmas, and that's talking about every day, every day sort of stuff. So like I knew the old man would be going to work to do that sort of stuff. So I don't know what age where I thought, nah, can't be angry. Can't be angry if you're getting fed.
For real, those, yeah.
And it's cool that you touch on that too. Like, everything that I feel everything that we do now is kind of an extension of us trying to do better than what our parents had when we were growing up, right? So you touched on, that the understanding. And I think for me as well, being the eldest son, I had the understanding that if my mom's doing 2 jobs and that there was food and that she was at work, that I then feel the presence of her being at work, knowing and understanding her place, but knowing what she had to do to provide for us. So I can definitely agree with that, the early understanding.
I think what plays a part too is that because we're in this era now that everything is so accessible, and kids, our young ones have devices that they can turn to when you're not around. Yeah, that takes a huge, I guess, space for the kid. But sometimes you got to understand, changes come with life too. So as a kid to what I am now, do my kids understand that I'm going to work? I've told them so many times that and they're you don't need to know their ages, but under 4 years old, that in order to eat, you have to work for that food. And how do I get paid? I have to go to work. So if you're teaching your kid, or if you're kind of teaching your kid the life skills that they need to understand why the light's on, because the bills are getting paid, or when you teach your kid, oh, I want this, and he goes, well, how are you going to get it? Do we have money to get it? Not just getting it for the sake of getting it. So and I'm sure if a lot of parents out there do, not only us fathers, the mothers are always there, and sometimes they spend more times with the kids than we do, maybe, or vice versa. So in the understanding part, us as parents may need to sit down with the kids, and I guess not force it on it, but just show them everyday sort of stuff. I'm at work because why? This blah 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 blah. If I'm at work for an extended amount of time because I'm doing this. So whether they understand it at 4, or maybe they won't understand it at maybe 10, you're doing your bit to be a better father, not to just be being invisible, or missing from their lives because you want to do it. You want to be missing from your kids' life. Shit, I hope that made sense, man. Shit.
Yeah.
It does.
Definitely
It
makes
does.
And then as we talk about, every household's different. Everybody takes advice and gives advice differently. We're not professionals. We're fathers. This platform's here for us to kind of share these conversations, and as you know, we're humans. And the question that Swanky asked us, we were like, that's why this platform's here.
It's always nice to throw out those questions.
It's good, bro.
Nice, Swanky. Nice.
Even for the last shit, could say 4 or 5 weeks, man. These questions that you've been throwing out there have been on the money with getting us really to really think about it, eh?
Think I can flashbacks of do you have McDonald's money? Like when Macca's was only on birthdays, bro. For real. But what about now?
Now Macca's is just
now
a snack for the kids. And bro, it's got to a point. Sorry, I always like to share stuff about the family. So when I drop my kids off to daycare, they're always saying, "Can you get Grandpa to pick us up?" And I go, "Why?" And I go, "Oh, because you always buy this Macca's." I was like, "That's good." See,
for real. I was like,
so I'm like,
my dad was here, something.
So yeah, exactly what. No, well, not exactly what Data said, because it's only for birthday. But these kids already know how to ask the old man for bloody fucking Macca's, and grandparents, they never say no. Eh? They say no, but then it's like, all right, let's go and get it. God damn.
Hard, man. And that's all McDonald's marketing as well.
Straight to the kids, eh?
So because I remember too, my daughter, I think she was 3 at the time, and you do a letter, and then do an E, don't know. Then next minute you do the golden arches. Oh mate, Good advertising for them.
Hey, boys, do you guys know much about the Pacifica Festival? You know,
Is that the one that's
is
happening
it?
at the cloud?
Yeah, is that the same one that used to happen at Western Springs? They just made it smaller.
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue. I just saw that it was happening over 3 weekends, eh?
This week. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Starting this weekend, eh?
Starting this weekend, and that they were going to do like performances and stuff. So I'm not too sure if it's the speaker that used to be. Are you talking about the one that used to be at Western Springs?
Yeah, go there for the feeds.
Yeah, not too sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up now. I'm like, suddenly this is like, I don't know if this is a different initiative or this is what they've changed into. Like, I don't know, chat. Does anyone in the chat know, man?
You want to know?
Yeah.
Is it free entry? I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
I think I heard it. I heard about it, but I just it's the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. So that's gone, guys. Don't worry about it. Next week I'll just put it on hold, okay?
Bro, if you are going to the cloud for that Taste of Pacifica Festival, bro, there's no trains on. Like, it's in the cloud. Like, man, how are you gonna get there? Drive in and park a car.
No trains this whole weekend.
No trains this weekend, man.
What is that? Are they doing some sort of
maintenance?
They just want to piss off the public. Like they
hey, man! Like 2 days ago, they had a derailment.
Yes, I saw that
on the Eastern Line. They shut down the Eastern Line.
Damn.
Yo, I saw that.
Yeah, man. So they better do some maintenance this weekend. Hey, man. I don't know what kind of maintenance these guys been doing for so how long, bro.
Saying it for the sake of doing it, eh? Yeah, let's block a line.
Hey, thankful for the days off.
They're having their days off. Boys, what do we got planned for the rest of the week?
Nothing planned for the rest of the week, man. Just probably just playing something with one of the brothers that's here. So yeah, family time.
Nice.
That's the only time.
Same with me. Trying to spend as much time as with the family. Or hopefully hoping for good weather this weekend. Long weekend. Definitely staying local for sure. Not leaving Tamaki Makaurau, but yeah. Spending much time with the family. And also, man, we need to link up, boys. We need to have
we've got
sit down and catch up.
When is Bossman back?
Oh, even
before that, eh?
Yeah, even like while the Bossman's gone, because
time, yeah.
Us ourselves need to catch up, boys.
Hard.
100.
Oh,
we are.
Someone sent through.
Why? Facebook.
Uza. Let's have a look at this. While you read it out.
All right, my man. Shout out to whoever commented. Oh man, it looks like it's not even finished. Teaching kids the value of money and how to attain and use it wisely is a skill that should definitely be taught from the moment they can speak. Obviously, with age-appropriate lessons, like at 3, having a child collect silver coins and put in a piggy. When they have a decent amount, taking it out and taking them to purchase lollies or something. Having them hand the money to the dairy owner and they give to the child. A complete transaction. Growing up and knowing that most things are transactions of value.
Yeah, that's it. So that was from Sid. Was Semia 2 White. Sorry, I'm just gonna try and find the rest of that convo.
Yeah, I agree with this. I send my kids in the dairy to get like bread, with like
So as it goes along, it's so we'll carry on from growing up and knowing that most things are a transaction of value. As they get older, exposing them to more and more. It sucks, but most things that are taught in school when we were growing up had less to do with everyday skills and more to do with things most don't or won't ever use as an adult. I definitely agree. Talking with your children about value of money is it is massive. One, especially our Polynesian environment, set our kids up to succeed. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, hard out.
Nothing big, eh?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like as small as
Small as
counting
this is,
silver
yeah.
coins and using the piggy.
Mm.
And that's. I mean, I've heard and read a lot of stuff with him. You know, we weren't taught money management, and I've spoken to one
Yeah.
of my brothers too about it, and he's real big on it, and how it's not taught in schools. About, you know, they teach you 1+1, but they won't tell you how you can, you know, change $50 and double that.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Exactly.
Shout out to Sid.
That's it.
Yeah, man. The mean comment. Thank you for that.
Will you guys set up those accounts? You know, for those. Do you guys believe in them? Like, do you guys do those bank accounts with the ASP's initiative with the elephant?
Yeah. I just think in general we set up accounts for the kids, so just put I don't know. I think it was $20 a week since they were born. Just putting money, and then taking the $20 back out and spending it on a box. Oh, bro! Remember those days? My brother, bro. He'll listen to this, but my brother had those money piggy banks. What do you call it? Is it the tin one?
Yeah.
So the only way to open up is if you get the
Nice.
can opener, or
Okay.
So like, his piggy bank had all the money. So you turn it upside down and you put the butter knife in it, so something gets laid down. That was me, bro, balling on my brother's savings.
Bro, and then I learned, so I can't remember who, one of my siblings showed me. You double in the sellotape, you put it on the knife, and then you put it through, and then you just like press on. you press on it, and then you pull the coins out without it making a noise.
Skills.
You're watching Mission Impossible, man. Don't make a sound. Hey, Dana, but what age do you explain 5 level love is? Because some people get introduced to them on the street. Yeah, you don't explain 5 level love is, Dana.
Yeah, sorry, I know we're probably about to finish soon, but is that like for you was it big, and if so, are you going to talk about that with your kids? Because for me, I know about it, but it's not part of. Yeah.
Like what? Like 5 level love is in there?
Yeah. You didn't have to break it down, like not only just say, oh yeah, this is what happens, but would you introduce it to your kids, like explain what it is, or they might already know?
Yeah, so for right now, it's just it's a gift. putting money together for a gift.
Is it a forced gift? Being forced.
We're lucky. Oh, like at the moment, my parents, and their siblings, don't really put much on us. Say for those, they just
Yeah.
they know when like what enough is enough. They don't have to go and showboat. You know, like take the whole world over, whatever it is. Whatever is enough is enough. So yeah, we're quite lucky in that sense where we're not really pressured to get into debt for those things.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we're the same as well. Like at a young age, mom kind of not said don't do it. We just stopped doing it, and then there was only certain lovers that we would put to. And there's that time when you're growing up, you're like, hey, I mean, you already know you don't have enough to go to the clubs, but you have to put it in. And then it's that understanding too that although it is a love and it does come at the wrong time, but what you put in, you usually tend to get back. But then it's the cycle that never ends. So you're either in or you're out, outies or innies.
No, flip it around and you reuse it. Facebook Uza, shout out.
Using the back stuff, eh?
Thank you for for coming through. Father love is. Oh yeah, I'll just teach them kindness and hopefully they understand our duty as a Samoan was giving and helping our families. Yeah, for sure. Like they say, go shine, eh? And like those who will said, like it tends to come around when what you do for your family or that side of the family, it always comes back when it's your turn. Like whatever it is, whatever the level of it is. But yeah, man, no need to go and knee-high debt for that shit, man. Whatever's, hey, just give a. Because I think people just tend to do too much.
And it's part of status, right?
Yeah.
Like where you sit. I mean, all respect to them, but where you sit within the family or whatnot, like depending on the level, is keeping that same energy from every generation. I mean, I'm not gonna go into detail about that,
but then again, it has to come from that person to understand. Like, hey, enough is enough. Just give this. That's enough. No need to go and pressure yourself and go into debt for those things
and pressure your bank account. When it's already been pressured.
There are families out there that are forever in that cycle of debt because of those, which is sad to see. But
that's
nice.
That's why this word right here, this word right here is well known.
Well known within not only the Samoan community, but it's known worldwide. Boys, been a good chat tonight. Although we're missing the brother Buffy, he's resting up. The man's been doing a lot of mahi, and not the mahi he's wearing, but the work. So shout out to the Beagles, Muffy, who's been taking a big rest. Good on yours, and stop kicking the dogs, okay? Or kicking the tree, Eric. Don't do it.
Just stop jumping those fences, Zeus. There's a gate. Use the gate. You don't need to jump the fence.
Boys, how we always do it, advice, tip, or something you've taken away from the podcast, or something that someone in the chat has shared with you. I'll go first, and I think for me, I shared before.
Jesus.
But man, hey,
Come
we
on,
didn't say
Data.
that.
Data. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Safe
I
space,
mean,
but you can share
we'll
that.
never
It's
know.
safe.
Like we don't know. We don't know. Maybe he is using diclofenac, whatever how you say it.
Yeah, using pink pills.
Maybe that is the medicine of choice.
The triangle pink pills that are going for millions on the
Maybe
marketplace.
he is taking that 75 milligram dosage.
Maybe he is,
Maybe he is
taking
taking
two.
some allopurinol.
Maybe he did overindulge in seafood. We don't know. We don't know, Data. Who are we to say?
Hey, shout out to the brother Muffy. Yeah, get their rest. Take that water.
And Swanky.
No sidestepping, no sidestepping the fence and landing on the rock. But for me, I think I shared last time I was on, grateful, and for today's one, there's the as much as you like to share with a kid, just get them to. It's gonna be a hard one, but understanding that it's different. People are going through different parts of their life, and if you teach your kids to be grateful, and it goes a long way. And you'll see teach your kids to be grateful as well as yourself.
Very nice also. For me, this week, as it is the beginning of the language weeks, this week being Samoan Language Week, man, let's not I say this, let's not bring our people down, man. Like, celebrate the culture, celebrate the language, celebrate those who are trying to speak it, man. Like, there's no need for unneeded negativity amongst our people, man. There's enough negative energy out there. So just these language weeks, man, celebrate those who are trying to speak the language. Yeah, reach one, teach one. Hey, boys.
Yo, 100%.
Nice. I guess for me is, like Terry said, it's that understanding of, understanding what your role is and which part you play. Whether it's, single dad, single mom, whatever, we all play a role. It's understanding what your role is. And communication is key to understanding it. The other part is, Swanky's part is that whole negativity about Samoan. I can speak fluently Samoan. I can understand it. All the Samoan stuff I don't know. But Samoa's in my heart, so I'm Samoan. And then I guess the last part is the whole reach one, teach one. If somebody's going through something, you don't have to be the counselor or the therapist. You can be the listener or the mediator. And today's never, tomorrow's never promised. So if there is anything, get through that conversation and reset for the next day.
Nice.
Thanks, boys.
Shout
boys.
Was that? Hey, thanks, chat, for coming through. Data. Take it easy. Thank you for tuning in. I am Swanky.
Sid. Thank you to Sid as well. Hopefully, I'm saying your name properly. If not, Vinaka. I'm Teza.
And I'm Wills. Thanks, team.
For the Boys Podcast. Let's get out.
Peace.